learn and where they came from and language. She worked to get the IEA and JOM program into Sitka Native Education Program, which we call Sitka Native Education Program today, but it was sponsored by through the AAB when it first began. I never knew there would come a time in my life where I would get paid for teaching my language or the songs and dance that was taught to us. But we worked with Sitka Native Education. I worked for 20 years. I retired from that in teaching the young people language, songs, and dances. We traveled all over, and wherever we traveled with our dance group, Isabel would ask me to say Tlingit words when we were in Los Angeles, when she asked me to say something in Tlingit. I said, well, who's going to hear me and who's going to understand me anyway? So she said, well, just say something. So I went out there and I was talking nonsense, in Tlingit. Lo and behold, there was a speaker out there. And she came and she says, oh, you never know how good it made me feel to hear my language. She never told me that she knew I was speaking nonsense. And we took my father, to Hawaii on a trip there, and he enjoyed that. The first time my father went, though, was when my parents celebrated their 60th anniversary. All of his young children, their children got together and we contributed our money and they went over for their 60th anniversary and I chaperoned them. And they loved to sit at the pools and watch everybody swim and everything else. And my father said to me, it amazed him because when it started raining, everybody would run and get under shelter, even the ones that were swimming. I don't think they realized they were already wet. It really, intrigued them. And says, look at us. He says, look at our skin. They're all trying to turn as dark as us. They enjoyed their trip to Hawaii. He enjoyed his trip wherever he went. My father, who taught all the songs that you might hear, the Lingít songs that are sung with the different dance groups that you now hear, was taught by him, put into songbook by my plant sister and I, by the Davis up there. And they called him, wherever he went, they called him, when we went to the top of the world, they called him Eskimo Charlie and Hawaiian Charlie, and the kids called themselves Charlie's Angels. I learned an awful lot growing up in the Lingít community. I'm glad I was able to learn. I spoke, as my older sisters, when they started school here on this property was here, they didn't know how to speak English. They were Lingít speakers, and they learned how to speak English. When they came home, they taught my father. So my father learned from them. Mother learned a little bit, but not much. She just didn't think she needed that language. So I really thank you for listening to me, and I'd like to leave you with a song. It's a song that I learned to teach the little ones that have gone home and gone to sleep already. I do an awful lot with my plant sister up there. It goes like this. Kadli itching patayanaha, nasak sheach ECT. Lingít ani kach nachle, nukyachas tuchil lihat. Kadli itching patayanaha, nasak sheach ECT. You can put your hands together.
Chej Dastea, Chej. Shakundasta Yeduvasa, Ismach Sate, Klene Dichsate, Dog Salmon Hit Dagsate, Kagwantan Yadi. I have just introduced Bob Sam. His Lingít name is Shakundasta. He is a raven. Comes from the Dog Salmon clan and from the Dog Salmon house. He is child of Kagwantan. And he is going to tell the story, spirit in all things. Bob Sam.
I feel very honored to be here. I know that the theme of tonight is growing up in Sitka, but I still got to grow up here. I have a long ways to go yet. When I was first asked to do this, I was very, very nervous. I'm sitting here with my elders right now, and I've always felt honored to be able to be in the same room as they are. But there was a time in my life when I didn't feel like I was really good enough. And that was when I used to drink. When I drank and did drugs, I couldn't look at these people in the eye, and now I'm sitting with them. When I put that bottle away, that's when I came home. And that's when I began to learn. By the time I put that bottle away, I was too old for the Sitka Native Education Program. And I was very jealous that all these young people had that. Today I'm very proud of them. But I was fortunate. When I put that bottle away, I met a man named A.P. Johnson. And he encouraged me to learn stories. He liked my voice. He said I was going to be a storyteller. I didn't think at the time that I was going to do that. But something happened that really brought me back even closer to home. Is that I began to take care of the cemeteries here in town. That project, clearing brush and uprighting headstones, helped me begin to wonder who my ancestors were and what kind of people they were. And they got me even more curious about their stories. I spent a year and a half clearing the cemeteries. I got a phone call from a man in Haines. He wanted me to come up to Haines and help him through his culture camp to clean up the cemeteries in Haines. And they hired me to work with the kids, to share sobriety with the young people. And all day long we'd go out, we'd clean up the grave sites, clean up the camp, get it ready, make it look nice. And during the evening, the elder of the camp would come out and he would tell stories. At the time, I was very, very nervous because I didn't think I knew anything. So I was always acting like I was standing outside the door. This culture camp had some wonderful teachers. Amy Marvin, Ida Kadashan, Austin Hammond Sr., Eva Davis. These ladies noticed I was, and men noticed I was just standing outside. And one of them got up and says, "Bob, quit standing outside. Quit acting like you're outside looking in. Come on in and join us." The young people, they made some regalia for me. They put it on me. They had me dancing for the first time in my life. And from there, when I was working for the camp for two summers, the elder of the camp, Austin Hammond Sr., Donawag, he made a phone call to the Sea Alaska Heritage Foundation and told them that there was a young man who's interested in learning how to tell stories, and I want you to teach him. So they called me up at the camp, asked me to go to Juneau to audition for the Nakahiti Theater, and they didn't tell me that I was hired before I even got there. They gave me a script, and I couldn't read the script. I was so nervous, but they hired me. So I had spent my first year with the Nakahiti Theater. They gave me a part that I was very comfortable with, that I knew a lot about. And it was a part that I played in a story called the Kuna Kadek, the Sea Monster, with Vida up here, who taught me Lingít. But the very first part that I played was the lazy and worthless young man. I was pretty good at that. But this part, I was in charge of all the regalia, all the props that were back of the curtain. They put me in charge of all these props, and I had to make sure that they were all in their proper place so that the other theater company members can get them and bring them out. So I was very fortunate my first year in a theater company that I didn't have any speaking parts, because I was very nervous. I couldn't speak in front of a crowd if you asked me to. But with this group of people, we had a mix of very professional theater people, people that were very fluent in the culture, like Vida. I'm very grateful for you for being there, because they taught us how to conduct ourselves in front of people. And the people who were involved in theater taught me how to use my voice. They taught me how to articulate. And I had to talk to myself a lot to learn these stories. I had to listen and listen and listen some more. The first time that I got up to tell a story was in Washington, D.C., at a place called the Kennedy Center. And the acoustics in that place was a lot like this. And when I did my voice warm-ups and breathing exercises and started telling my story, the story I was supposed to tell, my voice filled up the whole room, and it scared me. And ever since that happened, you couldn't get me off the stage. And then we went to Juneau after touring all over the United States, Canada, Europe twice. The elder that got me into the theater company approached us. He was concerned about something very important. And this was trees. Austin Hammond Sr. was getting on in age. And he also wanted to teach us the proper way of telling stories. So he invited us up to the Nakahiti Theater to come up to the culture camp on condition that we clean it up and get it ready for the young people. And during the evening, he would come out and he would share stories with us. This story in particular is about how spirit came to all things. But before he would tell the story, he would prepare us. He would say good things about us. He would build us up. He would make us feel really good about ourselves. And then he'd go on to tell a story. And what I really like about him was just before he'd get into the story, he would say, "These are not my words. These are the words of my ancestors." And then he would tell the story. I watched him. His back would get straighter. His voice would get stronger. It was like something came into him, like he was in another world. He would change right in front of us. I was so amazed with that I watched him. This story is called How Spirit Came to All Things. Donawak had a message to share how important trees are to our people. I want to share this story because recently we've been going out to places in our customary and traditional territory and looking at places that potentially will be gone shortly. What we know as the Tongass National Forest quite possibly could be the last rainforest in North America. So this is the story that he taught me, and these are his words. This is what we get together to talk about. Don't be afraid to talk about the Spirit. I'm gonna go back a little bit. How we got the Spirit. When the raven finished the trees, everything is dark. Still, he looked at it, never moved. Our people sit there and look around, they don't know what to do. All the animals, that's what he created. Even the fish in the water. No spirit, nothing moved. The raven, he went to the ocean. He was walking. When he was walking, he see that big flame come out in the ocean. The raven is watching it. It keep coming out, big flame. So he looked. That young man was walking, proud of himself. His beak is kind of long. And he asks, "Can you help me?" That was Hawk I'm talking about. Hawk fly fast. Raven needs help from him. Hawk asks Raven, "Can you help me?" Just the eye turned to him, smile away, and walk away. Hawk asks Raven, "Can you help me?" He was thinking about it, how he's gonna get it. What shall I do? Second time when he's going by again, Raven asks him, "Can you help me?" Hawk just look at him and smile. Third time when he's going by again, Raven asks, "Can you help me? I sure need your help." So Hawk turned around. "What do you want me to do?" "I want you to get that fire out there." He looking at it. "How I gonna get it?" "I'll fix it for you." The raven, he went up into a tree. He got a stick, long at the end, just like cotton. That's the way it looks. And it got the roots to tie it on him. When you gonna tie it on, you gonna help people all over this world. You gonna help them. So get it for me. When it comes up, second time coming up, then bring it to me. So Hawk went out. He was watching. Soon as it come up, the second one, he fly right through and he got it. Hawks flying in quite a ways from shore, flying so fast. But the beak is coming, the flame is coming right close to his face. And he start crying. It's coming close to his face. Juan, be brave. You suffer for the people in this world with that fire. Bring it to me. But he's crying and crying. Keep repeating. You suffer for the people in this world with that fire. Bring it to me. That's when the flames start to burn right to his face, that hawk. Juan. So he took it off. When he took it off, he talking to him. You helping all the people that you suffer for them. the people will know you. That's when the beaks start to burn right to his face, that hawk. So he took it off. When he took it off, he threw that flame into the ground, into the cliff, into the snow. Everything he throwed in beginning to grow. The tree. Every year it comes out. If you look at it, the tree, it's real important. Right now, what I'm talking about, that's our tree I'm talking about now, he says to that man. Young man, if you bring that fire to me, you gonna help people all over this world. You gonna help them, so get it for me. The tree, it's real important. Really important than everything. Taking care of everything. You see in the trees, they run. What's flying, they rest there. And our people, when they go up, get a mountain goat, if it gets dark, they go under the tree, have a shelter. Like the house we got here, we got the shelter. The tree is real important. Really important than anything. Taking care of everything. And when we're talking to them, and when the roots hold together, all different trees. And then you'll see the grass gonna grow on top. Try to pull some of them. It's thick. All that small roots gets together, helping the tree. But I'm getting old. I'm helpless to do anything. You see that tree there? Old tree. It's in the middle. When the roots come, it's gonna come back and forth. And all the roots, everything, all the small grass, they're gonna say, we try to hold him up. We do the best we can. This is what you folks are doing now. But the day is coming. I will be gone. Then you're not gonna hear my voice. That's the reason why we respect the tree. From that, we're learning everything. This is our Lingít stories. We try to show everybody what we have in Alaska, how to take care of it. The story I learned from my elders, I'm telling you, pass it on. This is what you gotta do. You gotta pass it on. This is what you gotta do. Pass it on. Thank you.
I think our storytellers deserve another rousing round of applause. I want to thank everybody for your attention. I want to thank you for staying throughout the whole program. And one thing that's not on the agenda, but is always customary when we get together, is we have a closing prayer. I would like to ask Yehudi Krukat to dismiss us with prayer.